Welcome, everyone. This is Serge from Code Engine Studio, and with me is Todd DeNoyer from QwikCut. Hi, Todd. How you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Todd is somebody I've known for years through the football world, but also got to know him in the technology world as well. Todd, you are the owner and founder of QwikCut. What exactly you guys do?
So we create a cloud experience for coaches of all sports. So after they're done videotaping their game, they'll upload to our cloud platform where they have a choice of getting a breakdown, creating highlights, creating playlists, sharing it with their team, drawing on the video to use it as kind of a teaching moment for their athletes. Um, Probably the best way to improve and see where you're making mistakes is looking at video.
And I'll testify to that because I'm also a customer, so that works out well. Um, and did you ever think to yourself, I don't know, 15 years ago, I want to be a tech company owner, founder? Did you ever think that you're going to go into tech?
Uh, Not even a thought. Now, I was kind of in the tech world with video.
Right.
So I had been videotaping a lot of sports throughout the state of Florida, but never in a million years would I have thought we would have built a platform and gone up against the giant in the industry.
And sometimes it's good to go up against the giants because they don't expect competition.
Right.
So you've been at it for how many years now?
It's been 7 years,
7 years.
2017. Yeah.
Yeah. You made it through the pandemic, which, there were a lot fewer games to be recorded at the time. Um, What are the challenges you faced, let's say, in the first 3 to 4 years as you were starting and really had to think about the empowering your company through technology? It's not just throwing up video and hope it works, but what are some things you had to think through?
All of the features that we had to play catch up, and there was not enough time. There was not enough employees to build out everything that we needed in order to compete at the high school and college level. So we were pretty solid with the youth level, but typically they just watch the video, don't share it with their athletes, and so it was basically a video player this first couple of years, and then we started adding features.
So you were able to catch up because now you got the high school guys and the college guys because they have higher standards because of the competition, they have greater needs. Um, how do you move forward now when you start thinking about where do you go next? I know you have some acquisitions that have been happening. What is your strategic thinking of how you because it could go in any direction, right? It's a geometric progression. That tree could explode. How do you make choices?
Well, we feel we've got the core product. We've got lots of companies calling us and asking us to partner or to integrate. They've got what we call a bolt-on product that doesn't work as a standalone. Great products from grading, player grading to playbooks to AI technology, but they all need the video platform in order for their plugin to work. And so we're looking at all these different plugins that are out there, and we'll determine if we're going to roll them up under the umbrella of QwikCut or if we're going to build them out ourselves.
Hmm. And when you have these partners coming in, do you feel like they're benefiting your existing customers? Do you feel like it's expanding your customer base?
I believe it's expanding our customer base because they're bringing their customers to our platform. And so they get introduced to our platform, and we have more features than our competitor does. And we feel we've got features that are going to save coaches time and help them do what they do best, coach.
Yeah, no coach ever sits down and says, you know what I want to do is I want to sit there and do all this time prepping video files. Um, yeah, I think that would be a negative. Um, what was the situation like, particularly as you guys have grown and let's say you're now in the scale mode more than in just survival and growth mode, right?
Right.
So as you're in the growth mode, how do you make decisions on priorities within your own development? I know you guys are working with AI camera stuff, you have other features. How do you sit down? Do you plan it out a quarter at a time, a year at a time? Do you get a lot of feedback from existing customers?
Yeah, I'd say all of the above. We kind of take all of that into consideration when we work on our development schedule, um, and also look at you know we've been a one-man show, and we've used Code Engine and had a really great experience with that. And we'll look to the future to build on our development team, so that we can continue to build out features. It's hard to have a priority list when you've got one developer. But when you've got a team working with you, now you can start, you've got options. You can look at just not at the list of we need to have this, but we would like to have this. And that's where we're going to get here, hopefully, as the school year gets started for the 24-25 school year.
Yeah. So do you feel like most of your customers are in the fall, or are you actually pretty balanced, spread out for the whole school year?
We have the bulk of our customers pay in the fall because of the school
Cool.
year,
Right.
and so we always see a bump in the third quarter. July, August, and September are our best months of the year.
Makes sense from revenue perspective, right?
Right.
Um, so if you were to give advice to somebody who is, let's say they have a tech product and they've survived through initial wave, they have a somewhat competitive product to, let's say, a giant in the area. What are the things you would advise? And it doesn't have to be in your industry, but in general, anybody who's competing in and using technology to compete. What are like the top two or three pieces of advice you would give them how to manage technology to improve the business, or
Well,
broader advice?
if they're not coding, if they're not doing the development work, they have got to get somebody close to them to hopefully have them in house, offer them some kind of equity piece. But having a great relationship with your developer and having him in house is key, so that you can survive those early years where you're paying out perhaps a big salary, but you're on the same page. And then when you get to a certain point, and you'll know what that point is financially, look to broaden that development team so you can develop faster and get more features. And there's a lot of resources out there. We looked at Code Engine, and they were just solid as far as their code. Now, I couldn't tell you what bad code is versus good code, but uh,
But
my
Jonathan could, yeah.
Jonathan could, and he was very impressed with how neat and tidy Code Engine wrote their code, and did the other procedures that we hadn't done because of the speed of development, where things were written so that we could go back to it and see if there's any errors or anything like that, and so I was just really impressed. And I think that's what you want to look for when you're looking for different companies. Don't just look at the price. You got to look at the speed at which they're going to develop, and the neatness, the way they're going to write their code.
So when you were making your decisions for like where you guys do your hosting, I know you have the whole cloud infrastructure with the storage of video because we know that video is not very small. And I know you have other things that you employ. Was this you just left it in Jonathan's hands and you were able to have a person you trust as part of the team and that just made your life easier? Or was there a lot of balance between business decisions and technology decisions that you had to make?
it, at the beginning, it was kind of both of us learning. He worked for Lockheed Martin through college, and then a year after college. And so he had a pretty good background coming in. And I'd listen to any advice he had of where to host and what to do. But as far as the look and the feel of the user interface, the user experience, that we worked together on that.
What is the next big challenge for QwikCut in the technology space or business space?
Um, I guess to have sustained growth. Last year we grew at 42%, and we'd like to get that. That was with two sales reps. We'd like to get that into triple digits every year, and that's our challenge. So it's a combination of development. It's a combination of getting our AI cameras built efficiently, and it's having sales reps on the boots on the ground in different parts of the country.
Okay, so AI is a big buzzword. We all know that. Tell everybody about what is the AI camera. I know I have stolen a peek on it already, but tell everybody else what is an AI camera.
So an AI camera is going to have actually three cameras possibly 4 cameras, and it's going to shoot a 180-degree panoramic view of the field or the court. And inside of those 3 or 4 cameras, it's going to follow the action from one camera to the next. And so you do a lot of machine learning with the different sports. It's not perfect. And there's you get a lot of complaints because, for example, in football, a long pass, a long run, it's going to stay on the offensive defensive line thinking that's where the action is. And so we're building something out that will allow the coach to go in and correct that and just move the frame of the shot to the left or the right, up or down, because we're shooting in 4K. So we have the ability to zoom, we have the ability to move left and right of that 180-degree panoramic view.
Now, for the record, as a lineman in my past and a line coach for many years, I will say that is where the action is. So, but I understand where you're going with that. Sometimes, those guys who are fast got to get the glory, and that works really well. I guess I will leave it with this. Do you feel like you guys have the capacity to evolve now that you have enough footing on the ground? What are the things you're going to do to evolve using things like AI, using things that will help you to get to where you see QwikCut in the next 5 years, other than growth, other than sales, but as far as the product?
Yeah, it goes back to the buzzword AI. Companies are working feverishly to have AI analytics, to bypass the human looking at the game, spending an hour, 2 hours. So we've been working with a company for over a year now that does football. We'll do 14 columns of data, and it can do an entire game in about 7 minutes. And so we're excited to see where that's going to go. Still need humans to look at jersey numbers and some of the other things with football. Basketball is a challenge. Volleyball is a challenge, depending on where the camera is located or how many cameras you have. And so figuring out a way to get analytics done by AI is where the future is. It's kind of a race, an arms race.
Yeah. So in a sense, the big business need is saving time, because you go back to why you started your product, is saving coaches time, saving staff's time, and giving good quality work, with video for people to learn, because it's obviously a very powerful tool, while at the same time using the best tools along the way to do that. So, no, I really am excited that you got a chance to share this. Any parting thoughts overall, how technology business overlap for anybody else listening?
Well, this particular technology business has been a lot of fun because I enjoy sports. And so getting into a technology business in an area that you really enjoy, as the old cliche is, it doesn't feel like a job, doesn't feel like work. It's fun coming to work every day.
Well, you know what? That's a great advice to everybody. Find an area you like and use the tech to do it. That sounds like a good plan. Todd, thank you very much for your time. And hopefully folks will tune in for the next episode as well. Have
Thanks
a
for
great
having
day.
me. You too.